What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 44 of the Again podcast, bringing you the hot takes, latest stories, and spicy picks on New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Adam Rosani, joined us on around the Lego Cuddyham, Alex Reach, Chris Kieran, and Sam Morell. You can listen to the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at GetAGameOnP. With all that said, it's time to get a game on. Yo, guys, what's up?
What's good?
Hey.
And guys, I don't know if you guys heard the intro there, but we are so happy to welcome a new member to the Get a Game On podcast family. A little bit of background between me and this guy. I don't know, was it over 15, 16, 17, all those years ago, me and my mother used to babysit this guy. And back when I was in 6th grade and when he was in kindergarten, they had this class where they would link up 6th graders in kindergarten, and we were linked up together. And oh my God, I made so many memories with this guy, and he's grown so much since then. Now he's making me feel old. We are so happy to welcome to the podcast Sam Morell. Sam, how you doing?
Guys. Hi.
Welcome.
How's it going?
We good. Welcome to the show, King. Show us what you can do.
I will. Thank you.
No pressure, by the way. Chris, Alex, you got anything to say?
Okay. Glad to have him. We're excited.
Thank
We
you.
vibing,
Be part
baby.
of this.
Like Chris said, we vibing.
Alex, go ahead.
Welcome to the show, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyone that's put up with Adam since they're in kindergarten is a saint in my book. He charged me. Yo, I think me and my man Sam need a medal for dealing with Adam all these years. What do you say, Sam?
Oh, okay. Bet. We got this.
Okay. All right, guys. You want to start off with some football? Guys,
Sure.
The Giants suck. Let's just start.
Who are you telling?
Oh my God. I'm going to start off don't worry, Sam. We'll get to your Ravens and a big win for them. Chris will get to
thank
your
you.
Chiefs and another brutal loss for them. And then Michael will get to your Jets and Zach Wilson continuing to struggle. But guys, it's just again, I gotta credit John Strumsky of The Ringer. He said best. The New York Football Giants, they are good enough to lose. They are good enough to lose, and they go into this game against the crappy LA Falcons, a team that they should beat. I said before that this is a game going to this game that this is a game that the Giants should win. And on a big segment, towards the end of every episode, I was tempted to pick this game for aim. I was tempted. I was thinking about it, but something kept me off on it, thinking, "Oh, it's the Giants, and they're gonna somehow find a way to screw this up." And you know what? They just said the Giants lose to the Atlanta Falcons 17-14, and I don't know where to begin, guys. And I'll start off once again by crediting I gotta say, second straight week in a row, Daniel Jones played well. He was not the problem in this game. He was throwing the ball accurately. He didn't turn the ball over. I mean, he had one almost fumble one time, but he was able to recover it. So, but yeah, he went 24-35, 9.9 quarterback, right? He was solid. He was not the problem in this game, but again, the rest of the issues we keep on talking about, Saquon Barkley, I'm sorry. You're supposed to be this superstar running back, 3.2 yards a carry. I'm sorry, that's not gonna cut it. Now I will say Kenny Galladay did play well. Kenny Galladay, I said before, when did Josh get game involved? And you know what? He played well. He had 4 receptions, 64 yards. So yeah, he had a pretty had a pretty good game. So I'll give him credit for that. But guys, I'm sick and tired of Evan Ingram. Can I just say it right now? I'm sick and tired of Evan Ingram. This is the guy who everyone tells me is like, when Josh Johnson, we're supposed to be like this receiving tight end. This guy that is supposed to be a matchup nightmare for linebackers as a tight end. And this is a thing I've said about Evan Ingram. He is a receiving tight end with butterfingers. That's what he is. He's a receiving tight end with butterfingers. He continuously has these drops and fumbles that just drive you to drink, even though I don't drink, Evan Ingram makes me want to drive me to drink. If that makes any sense, which I don't even know if it does. I mean, I got more to say, but I mean, the guys, I'm gonna open the floor here. I mean, Michael, you got anything to say? Sam, Alex, Chris?
Oh, as a giant hater of this podcast, you guys, I thought in the beginning of the season, y'all would have won at least 1 out of 2 games. How you guys lose to the Falcons at home? That's just unacceptable. Falcons had a losing streak 7 games into the season, I believe. They lost their last 7 games. You made them come 1-2. Daniel Jones got to step it up. Barkley is still playing hurt. He's still coming back from a major injury. But however, your defense has to step it up in the big game, big part of the game.
Yeah.
Only 2 things you need to win: a great defense and a great coach. If you offense, you can teach offense on the way. It's like every sport. You need great defense. Defense wins championships. I'm sorry to tell you. It wins it. Not offense, just defense. And that goes in any sport besides baseball. Then you can just hit home runs all day. You get W's. But the Giants has to go to base, learn the basics. Work on your defensive drills. Work on your clutch situations. Mm-hmm. You guys were up, I believe. Wilson scored 14-7 or something.
I think that they were up 14-7. Yeah.
You guys were winning 14-7. You guys lose 21-14. How? You guys are at home at MetLife Stadium. You came from a loss against the Washington national team by a field goal. Your coach, I don't know what to tell you, Adam.
Yeah. You
guys gotta fire your head coach. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and coming to season, I was a fan of Joe Judge, but I'm gonna be honest. Coming to see so far this season, Joe Judge has not impressed me. This team, last year they were disciplined. They played well under Joe Judge. This team has had so many costly penalties. I forget what was that one. What was that? I forget which quarter it was. It was in the second quarter, I think. What was that? Pass interference call? Yeah, it was kind of a sketchy call, but you know what? Still, you gotta be better this one there. There were so many offside balls, start penalties that are just unacceptable. And I forget when it was, but oh yeah, it was in the third quarter. You have the ball on the Atlanta 39. It's 3rd and 4. No, it's 4th and 4. You have the Atlanta 39. That's perfect distance for a field goal. Or if you want to go for it on 4th and 4, I would respect that. And you punt the ball there? You freaking punt the ball there? I mean, what kind of decision making is? If that is the type of decision making I would have expected from Pat Shermer or Ben McAdoo. That's not a decision making I would expect from a guy who last year I thought did a pretty good job coaching the team. Now this year, I'm gonna, as of right now, at the end of the year, guys, if the Giants don't step up, which I don't think they will, but guys, I think Joe Judge is gonna be in the hot seat. Which I think is a little bit unfair to him, considering how good of a job he did last year. But but yeah, Joe Judge should be on the hot seat. But you know who needs to be even hotter seat guys? Two people, Jason Garrett and Dave Gilman. I mean, you guys have heard me ranting about Dave Gilman, how much I don't like the guy, and on all like the decision, all the bad decisions. Yes, he made some good decisions here and there, but you know what? At the end of the day, under Dave Gilman's watch, this team has continued to lose after lose after lose after lose. Eventually, you gotta start showing some results. I'm sorry, you can't just keep on losing. Like as a general manager, you just can't keep on losing and losing, getting all these infinite tries. Before you start winning some games, eventually you gotta start winning some games, and Dave Gilman simply just hasn't done that. And Jason Garrett, I mean, I think Dan Orlovsky on ESPN, like Sam, you know Dan Orlovsky, right? He said it best. The Giants, under Jason Garrett, the Giants have had the most boring and vanilla offense in the league. Like, there's no creativity when it comes to this offense. It's the most boring, predictable offense in the league. So, guys, I think this season is a wash for the Giants. I'm gonna say it right now. This season is a wash, and come trade deadline, come the end of the season, they need to clean house. They need to clean house from the head coach. Where as much as I liked Joe Judge in the first year, like it would feel dirty firing him after one bad year. But you know what? I'm not. But you can't bring in a new head coach and force like Joe Judge on them, especially when Joe Judge with the performance Joe Judge has had just off this year. But Joe Judge has got to go. Unfortunately, Dave Gilman's got to go. Jason Garrett has got to go, and unfortunately for a guy like Daniel Jones, who I think has played pretty well to start the season, he may end up being in the crosshairs because whether it's his fault or not, if the Giants have a high enough draft pick and they're going to be in position, and a new general manager is going to be in position to draft Malik Willis, as I believe, Chris, that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah,
If you're gonna be in a position to draft that guy, then and a new general manager who's gonna have no ties to Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones may be shipped out at the end of the season too, and it would suck for him. But you know what? As a Giants fan, I just think they need to clean house because it's been 5 straight years now. I've watched this team be absolutely non-competitive. 5 straight years of them being eliminated in September.
Honestly, you need a new quarterback. That's your problem.
Yeah, you guys need a draft also better.
Well, yeah, play for
because
the draft.
Again, am I necessarily for saying the Giants should move on from Daniel Jones? I'm not gonna say that quite yet, but would I be surprised if the Giants, if a new general manager, if the Giants fire Dave Gilman and bring a new general manager, they do end up moving on from Daniel Jones? No, I would not be surprised.
Hold up. Let me add one thing to say, Adam.
Go ahead.
About the Giants. Here's the thing. You guys had some expectations. At least be the 3rd seed in the NFCs.
I think coming to this season, they need to at least be in the hunt for the playoffs. With the moves they made this offseason, they need to be in the hunt.
You made all those good moves for you guys.
Sign Kenny Galladay. You made a pretty good move in the draft, which, by the way, I do want to credit one guy on the Giants defense. I don't know if you guys have saw him lately. Ojiro has looked like a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He has looked like a stud for the Giants defense. The Giants played 3 games. He's had a sack in all 3 games. And he's just consistently got pressure on the quarterback. So one of the few bright spots for this defense. So I gotta give credit to him. Who I said before, you guys know how much I like that pick in the 2nd round, Elise Ojirari. I love that pick. I'm sorry, Michael. Go ahead.
I think Chris will agree with me on this as well. But the way how your Giants are playing, I think y'all got to rebuild your whole team. You got to rebuild it.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I think me and Sam and Alex and Chris can all agree. Adam, you guys, honestly, every year it's like the Giants always want to do well, but there's a screw up. You guys wanted to get cap space. You trade OBJ. You send him to the Browns. Okay, that. Then you guys were saying that either Daniel Jones was going to be the Eli Manning processor, that he was going to be a good quarterback. Yeah, that didn't happen well. But only way for your Giants, you guys got a good defense player, and I think the player you said is going to be Rookie of the Year on defense. How he's been playing the sack every game, that's impressive. But however, if I were them out during the offseason, cut some people and trade some people. Like you had this one defensive player years ago, Flowers. He's on offensive line. Flowers. Remember the guy Flowers?
Flowers, yeah.
Who was the worst player I ever seen play in the NFL, but that's a different story.
Oh man. He gave fits. He gave all Giants fans fits.
So that's my end of my take. Not my hot take, but I'm just saying. But however, the Giants are probably going to be the last seed in the NFC East. And I'm going to predict their record right now, if you don't mind, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them 4 wins. That's all I'm giving them.
Yeah. I mean, you look at their upcoming schedule. Now again, and the Falcons and Washington, those are 2 winnable games. Those are the only 2 winnable games you had in the first 3 games of the season. Now you've dropped both of those. You got the Saints coming up on the road. You got the Cowboys coming up on the road. Then you have the Rams at home. Then you got the Panthers at home. Then you got the Chiefs on the road. And then finally, before you get to the bye week, you got the Raiders. Guys, I would not be surprised if all the Giants head into the bye week 0-9. Or 1-8 or something like that. I would not be surprised at all.
So, Adam, you say you
Chris, you're nodding. You have something to say?
That is a brutal stretch of games.
Yeah.
That is tough.
Yeah,
I was about to look at their schedule, but that is not good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't score a touchdown for the next 3 games.
Oh, Sam, I knew I liked you. But Adam, as a Giant fan, where do you rebuild from, on the offensive side or the defensive side, if you guys have the worst record this year? You guys go for a quarterback, you go for a wideout, you go for an RB, a tight end, or a defense?
I mean, if we get the first overall pick, you have to draft a quarterback. I think you almost have to, unless there's no one that you really like. But again, the guy from Liberty, Malik Willis, I've watched a couple. I mean, Chris, you're the big college football expert here, but I've watched a little bit of him, and yeah, I really like what I've seen from Willis so far.
Yeah, Willis has been good. This quarterback class it's not as good as last year's.
Yes,
so it's not
as good as last year, but I mean, but the thing is, I feel like every quarterback class has one even the weaker quarterback classes they always have that one diamond in the rough.
No, for sure.
Look at 2019 with Kyler Murray, for example.
For sure, it's always. But
so if they finish with the worst record, if
the worst record, you go quarterback.
Yeah, because there's
with the tough schedule coming up, I don't envision that happening. They're not a playoff team at all, but they're not the worst team in football. They're better than a handful of teams still.
Yes. So yeah, if they're in position to get Willis, I agree, but if they're not, and again, if Daniel Jones continues to play the way he's played, he has been amazing, but he's for the most part been solid. For the most part, if he finish it if the Giants let's say finish the year I don't know 4-13 or something like that, and they're picking high but not necessarily high enough to get something then I think you have no choice but to bring back Jones for one more year.
If I had to guess, he's their quarterback next season still.
Yeah.
I just don't envision them being bad enough to get one of the top.
Yeah, if this was last year's quarterback class, then I would say move on from them.
Oh, for sure. It's tough to project because there's not a lot of teams that you would right now. There's not a lot of teams you would envision drafting a quarterback high.
I mean, Houston would be one. I think
Pittsburgh and
Yeah, Pittsburgh. I think. I
I
mean,
think Pittsburgh are the two that come to mind right off the bat. So, like, there's
who
not a
else?
lot.
The Chiefs? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Like a couple more come up during the year that become more realistic options. So, like, last year there was a lot. Like, cause they had like the big five prospects, and there was a lot of other teams that were rumored to potentially consider stuff.
Yeah, and that's
But like,
and,
it's
that,
only
and that's
week
the th-
two,
and that's the
so
thing,
it's
and that's the
okay.
thing, guys. Like, if Daniel Jones doesn't, I said before, if Daniel Jones doesn't end up being the guy, they're gonna look back at this past quarterback class and say, "Man, that was a missed opportunity." Because even if one of like Justin Fields or Mac Jones like becomes a stud, like that's gonna be look back as like a missed opportunity.
Don't get me started.
Unless they find a quarterback in this year's draft.
Don't get me started on Mac Jones right now.
Not sure what you mean with that.
I mean,
but
I may have to rant. I may have to.
All right. You know what? Speaking of rookie quarterbacks, Michael, I gotta ask you another rough performance for Zach Wilson. As the Jets get shut out by the Denver Broncos. So,
No comment.
Michael, the floor is yours.
No comment.
Come on, my brother.
If you want the stats, I got the stats.
Go ahead. Sam, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'll say it. Screw it. I just believe Zach Wilson was really hyped up as the quarterback. He was the second pick in the draft, I believe, right? Chris.
Yeah, he went second overall.
He went second overall.
I was just so you know, I was very high on Zach Wilson coming out of college.
He was great in college, but I said this many times on this podcast. You can have a great college career, and you come to the
have
pros,
a great NFL career.
Shit. You can do shit in the pros.
I mean, look at Dwayne Haskins, for example.
Dwayne Haskins disappointed me.
He was like he was a monster season for Ohio State. Think comes to the NFL and lays an egg.
Well, here's the thing, though. Every good player has to notice, and I think Chris and myself and Sam and Alex and Adam, you probably know this as well. If you gotta adjust yourself from college sports to the NBA sports. You could be high school. You can be great in high school, be great in college, but some players don't make that transition and be like, you know what? How I played in college is not going to be how it's going to be the same way how I play in the NFL or in the NBA. If you play the same way how you played in college,
it's a very, very rough transition. That
it's
a lot of quarterbacks
can't.
There's a reason why, a large percentage of quarterback prospects bust.
No, yeah, but it's like you got to remember, it's like with every single sport, it's like high school, you may verse very good players, you may verse bums. College, you're going to verse very good players, but they're not going to be on the standard of the pros. The pros, it doesn't matter who you verse, they're all there for a reason. Like they're meant to be the best of the best. They're not meant to be, maybe, sort of. No, they're meant to be the best of the best. So
let me interrupt you.
Only the best of the best are going to stay in the pros.
Here's the thing, though, but let me just, if you don't mind, if I interrupt you for 1 second. Everything I agree with you with, we agreed on the same thing, but however, you could still be a bad football player and still be in the pros. That doesn't mean bad athlete, you can still be in the pros. I can admit, I played better than some of the athletes in the pros. I played better than. But however, you could be the best of the best, but there's some better players that didn't get the opportunity. You could be a great high school player. You could be an All-American. I'm going to say one that I was saying, for example, Jabril Peppers, who was a great friend of mine, All-American in college, All-American in high school. He couldn't find his path when he went to the Browns. Now he's doing all right for the Giants. He's not a bum, but he wasn't a bust. But I also
I get what you're saying. It's like some players they're not bad necessarily, but it's they never got the opportunity to show how good they could be.
And I think Chris is being this is the first time I see Chris quiet on the podcast, because Chris is worked up. Dang.
No, you're good. I'm just listening. Cause like
he's waiting to like go off on the Chiefs for
no,
losing.
cause like it's like cause the talent, like the people who are in NFL and pro sports, like they're talented. Skill's not normally the issue with why they fail necessarily, and especially with quarterbacks. So much of it is based off the situation they end up in. Like that. I think that's a bigger fact. That's almost a bigger factor than how good they are, because like all these top quarterbacks have flaws, but if they land on a good football team, good organization, good coach, like it really helps. I mean, this goes for all sports too, but quarterbacks like prevalent because they work more with like the coach and like development and whatnot. But like the system that these quarterbacks end up in is so crucial. Like Zach Wilson and like Justin Fields may as well start today too. Like those guys, they're just not in a position to succeed, and it's okay to like they'll go through the growing pains, and they certainly could turn it around. But like a lot of these other guys, like Patrick Mahomes had his first year. I feel like that his example gets overused too much now when talking about like rookie quarterbacks sitting behind his shoulder. But like it, he was able to do that and just learn from Alex Smith, learn from Andy Reid. Like most rookie quarterbacks can't do that. And Mahomes had flaws, and he still has the same flaws, but like in some ways. But like he learned behind Andy Reid and like a perfect system. And there's a lot of, and like Trey Lance is in the spot. He's not having to go through all those growing pains on the field. And that could benefit him later on. We'll see how that works out. Like in Trevor Lawrence and Jacksonville's kind of struggling as well.
Yeah.
Just sometimes it's just based on the player, but like they're going to struggle early on, and some players can't take the scrutiny that's going to come with that. I feel like is also a big part.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Let me just the reason why I want to bring up the stats for Zach Wilson is just because I get when you say like the growing pains and all that stuff, but performances like this, especially when you're considered like one of like the top people, like one of the top quarterbacks, it's kind of unexcusable.
No, 100% agree.
It's like
100% agree.
Like here's the thing,
Not
like
questioning that.
it's like Bridgewater for the Broncos. He threw 25 passes, 19 were caught. He threw for 235 yards. Like there's no touchdowns, but he threw for 235 yards. Wilson threw 35 and only 19 were caught. So Bridgewater threw 10 less and he still had the same amount caught than Wilson. Wilson only threw for 160 yards and had 2 interceptions. Like, I'm sorry, that's inexcusable. It shouldn't be where the quarterback on the other team gets as many catches as you and and can like get almost 100 more yards than you with the same amount, if not less throws. Like that's just unacceptable to me. So
I definitely agree with that. There also side point, but I really like what I've seen from Teddy Bridgewater in Denver. His first
Yeah.
game.
that
He's performed. And that's also we talked about with these rookie quarterbacks, Daniel Jones and like the Giants and whatnot. But like signing a veteran like that to fill that gap instead of going straight back into another top prospect is always an option for these teams. And so far for Denver, it's going okay. I mean, it helps that they played some easy teams, but they beat the Saints last week, and they've looked really good too. So like that's also another option these teams could take.
Yeah, a lot of it is also about situation too, but go ahead, Alex.
Sam, I wanted to go take on the Las Vegas game against Miami.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. The Dolphins.
Dolphins and Raiders.
Yeah.
Oh, that one I didn't watch. I'm sorry. That one I didn't watch. I watched the Yankees game and I got too excited on that.
We're gonna get into that later, Sam. Trust me, we're gonna get into that later.
I watched that one,
To the
and then I
misery of my
watched.
friend Alex here. But you were mentioning about
I watched-
quarterbacks and like moving into different situations. Like, look at how Matthew Stafford's looking with the Rams.
Stafford's nasty.
Yeah, he is.
Good.
He's dirty.
Stafford for MVP.
That's a
I'm
good football team.
Stafford to be the MVP.
So happy to see Matthew Stafford with a competent
I
football
think the tattle for
organization.
that, Mike, but it won't shock me if he gets in that combo.
He's gonna be in the MVP talk. I'm telling you boys this now. Matthew Stafford's gonna be.
I think he'll be in the conversation. I'm not sure if he'll win it, but I think he'll be in the conversation.
He'll win it. If he's playing like this every week, he's winning it. Boys, it's pretty simple. I think this was the best move for Matt Stafford's whole career.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% on that.
I think when he was in Detroit, he made it to the playoffs 4 times. Never won a playoff series. Never did. And he had like one of the greatest wide receivers in Calvin Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, before
you had one of the greatest.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Michael.
I'm just saying, this was the best move for him, honestly. You put him in a different division. They're in the same division. The Lions were in the NFC, right, Chris?
Yeah, you mean same conference, right?
Same conference, but different division. I think now you can put Matt Stafford. Could take him. I think. This announcer said it. This announcer said it best. Matthew Stafford has expectations of getting to the playoffs and winning. Win the playoff series is not enough. They wanted a Super Bowl at the end of this year. And I think who going to kill it. And I love Matthew Stafford as a quarterback. I've been a fan of him. I want him to do well. He's going to do well. This is the right system. He has a good set. He's a good coach, good wide receivers, and a good running back. You're going to do well. And I'm telling you, Chris, it's going to be Rams versus Chiefs, Super Bowl. I'm changing my pick. Rams versus Chiefs, Super Bowl this year.
I wish I could change my pick.
I'm saying it now in February.
I take that back. Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure the Ravens not going to be there?
Sunday, and I call it.
I'm sure the Ravens not going to be there.
Hey, I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson. Ask anybody. Ask these guys.
Speaking of the Ravens, like we gotta get some. Sam, we're gonna talk about them. Big win for you guys.
Oh yes,
Justin Tucker is like
kill you soon. I think Chris is gonna murder you.
Oh, dude. I mean, the Ravens found a way to win today. The Chiefs didn't. I mean, I don't know
what
how
happened to your Chiefs, by the way. I need you're 1-2 to start the year.
Let's talk Ravens real quick, and then we'll transition.
Okay, yeah.
No, I just want to ask something. Because did the Ravens not play well today? Because if you're down late to Detroit late, I'm assuming some stuff went wrong. I wasn't able to watch much of that game though.
Oh, yeah. The shade.
No, that's not talking trash.
Wow.
No.
Remember, I went against your Chiefs. Just remember.
Okay.
just remember. Lamar Jackson had 3 touchdowns, which include 2 rushing touchdowns against your Chiefs. Just want to remind you real quick.
All right.
Jesus Christ, are you going to take this?
Dude, he's coming in hot. I was not expecting this.
Sam's
I was expecting a little bit.
And he's already
hot.
digging in. He's already digging in.
The curse I know never back down from nobody. That's not the curse I know. The curse is backing down, avoiding questions. When did we get? I didn't know Christina was on the show today.
Shut up, Mike.
It's a very late day for him. He's like, no, let it happen.
Chris, you know I love you, brother.
Yes,
sir. All right. I mean, Justin Tucker. 6 that's the NFL record, right? 66 yards.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be on SportsCenter, I feel.
Yeah, Justin Tucker is unreal. I mean, he had He had literally out of the 19 points we scored, he scored 13 of them.
Yeah.
Like he's just unbelievable, Justin Tucker. And then the only other person to score on the point, I think, was from Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson had a rough game, didn't he?
No, he had a pretty rough game. His yards were fine. He threw 287 yards, but he had an interception. Like he got like above the catch rate to like throw rate, which was 16 to 31. But like I expect more from Lamar Jackson, a little bit more. Where he really struggled was the rushing yards. He only rushed for 58 yards, which is not bad, but what's it called? I'm pretty sure he ran for 7 of them. So
he had 7 carries, 8.3 yards.
Yeah, he had. Yeah, it's like that's pretty good, but like comparing to like what he did like against the other people, like against other teams, it's like a little lower.
Yeah. All right, Chris, time to put you on the spot. What happened? What's happening so far to your Chiefs?
Well,
1-2 to start the year.
The Ravens game was just a tough one. I mean, 2 really good teams going at it. Those losses are going to happen. It wasn't too upset there. The way we lost that one was unfortunate, but Lamar Jackson just balled out and he just got hit the cap because he made a couple really bad mistakes on in that fourth quarter, but he bounced back and that was really damn impressive. Not gonna lie. And then today, I mean, when you turn the ball over 4 times and you don't force any turnover, so yeah, -4 in the turnover differential. I should have looked up some stats on that, but those teams probably do not win very often. If I had to guess, probably pretty close to 0% of the time. -4 in the turnover differential. That is atrocious. And not like the way the turnovers happened were really bad. Like just careless fumbles. Edwards-Helaire had a fumble, but it was more frustrating because the running game was really good. The offensive line struggled in pass protection, but they were dominant in the run blocking. Like it went very well. But like even without the turnovers were, give the Chargers a lot of credit, because they played really well defensively. But all 4, I think, the last one was kind of stupid interception from Mahomes, doing a little too much. But the first 3 that like really set us back, they were all like the Chargers did a good job stripping it, but they were just careless turnovers that are inexcusable for the guys who did it. And then we almost had another fumble late when we were trying to maybe in the third quarter. Mahomes had a fumble that luckily he was able to hang on to and sneak it around. But I don't know, because the biggest issue for the team's obviously the defense, and the defense was really good today. So that's one positive. Like you see, like 30 points, a lot of stuff happen, but like when the offense is putting you in bad spots like that, you're not going to have success. But the defense got so many big stops for this team to give them a chance, allow the offense to get back in the game, and then even I don't know. I would have to look back, but they got a stop in the fourth quarter that they needed to. They may have gotten 2. I may be wrong though, but they got at least a stop that you needed. Like you give Mahomes the ball, tie game with like 2.5 minutes left. Like you can't give the ball back to the Chargers. So they got it. Not even just giving it back. Like the Chargers got it pretty close to midfield, and just a lot of just dumb mistakes. But just the way that the Chargers were getting pressure on Mahomes, and like they just did a really good job defending. But like they were able to just get enough pressure because they had some stuff open down the middle. But Joey Bosa, I want to give props. He dominated. He had an ankle injury, so he was questionable. I believe he's questionable, but I know he's banged up coming in. And then he aggravated it and early on. And I was like, okay, this will help us out a little bit. But then he came back in and absolutely dominated that football game. He was elite. Like it was Joey Bosa. So that was tough. But I mean, the offense, I don't know. Like the more frustrating part is they moved the ball fairly well besides the turnovers. And like the whole first half, they had like 30 first downs in this game or something. I heard. There's like multiple drives. They're getting 4 or 5 first downs and then fumble. It's just like that's frustrating. But I mean, the defense played well, and You just lost a tough football game. No, I'm not concerned yet. So just take care of the turnovers and find a way to win these football games moving forward. But
Yeah.
I don't
Coming
think
up,
it's
you got
reason
the
to
Eagles, so
Yeah.
that's a must win.
if you lose to the Eagles, then the panic button is being
And then after that, you got the
smacked by
Bills. And
everybody.
after that, you got the Bills. So honestly,
So
Chris,
beat the Eagles, get some confidence. Get ready for
I
that
would
big
not be
matchup.
surprised if you guys are 2-3 to start the year. I mean,
No, If
Go
you
ahead,
mind
Sam.
if you mind if I
Go for it.
interject, what's it called? The Chiefs. I think if I was a Chiefs fan, I wouldn't be worrying right now. I mean, the first 3 games, it's like you versus Cleveland. That's an easy win. That
the
you should
first
have
4
that.
games,
Also,
the first 4 games are like glorified preseason.
the
Yeah.
Browns against the Browns, we were really bad that game. Like
Exactly.
we
like
were worse that game than we were against the Ravens. Probably.
Yeah, it's like
not probably, definitely.
It's like I saw
The Browns
that.
handed us that football game. Like honestly,
Yeah,
they handed
it's
that
like
to us.
it's like the Chiefs were terrible, but it's like the Browns are just way less talented and worse than the Chiefs. That's like you expect the Chiefs to win.
Yeah,
Ravens against Chiefs, that's a good matchup. That's a tough matchup. That can go either way.
Yeah, it was a hell of a game. That game was intense.
Exactly. It's like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. If Lamar Jackson didn't do what he did, I'm letting you know the Chiefs would have won that game very easily.
Oh no, that's something I've been critical of Lamar. Like I'm a big fan, but I've been critical. But like if he had the mistakes, he'll make some mistakes. But like he bounced back from he had I think an interception too early in the Chiefs game. So like after those, he was locked in and
because after those 2
but
interceptions, he was good because
nasty.
Yeah, because Patrick Mahomes, he finished that game off with like literally only 7 of his passes were not caught.
Yeah.
He threw 31, only 7 of them were not caught, and he had like 343 yards.
Yeah,
thrown. Like he played amazing that game, and then this game, the Chargers, like you said, they just played sloppy. But again, the Chargers are not one of those teams where like they're bad. They're around like decent to good territory.
Yeah, they're fringe playoff contender. Like you're not
they're like they're a playoff contender. Like they're good. So that's what I'm saying. It's So like this upcoming game against the Eagles, if you don't win, then I start slightly panicking. But like these first 3 games, it's like okay, 2 out of the first 3, it's like you're versing like playoff to championship contenders. So I'm not worrying too much yet.
No, as long as you beat the Eagles, just get some confidence. It's like
speaking of teams that are going to beat,
get to that Bills game and see if you can get that one and get some confidence. Well,
let's go Cowboys again. My Cowboys.
All right, big money in a football game. I mean, before we get to Mike's hot take, I do want to take a moment to wrap up football talk here, guys. I don't know if you knew this during the halftime of the Giants Falcons game. You guys know what happened?
Eli Manning,
number 10 jersey was retired, and Eli was inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor. So
rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so. The guy is the guy is clearly the best quarterback in Giants franchise history, and really one of the greatest.
It's Kurt Warner. Don't forget about Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner was there for only a year.
Oh God, he was not just say Kurt Warner.
Relax,
Mike, I'm going to mute you. I'm sorry.
I just want to throw it at him.
Okay, but I mean, I just want to talk about your guys' career for a second.
Who stopped my video? Hold up.
Okay, but Eli's career, I mean, there's 2 things you could really describe Eli's career with: toughness and clutchness. Because this guy never missed a game due to injury his entire career, which is insane. To be a quarterback in the NFL and to play in the NFL and not miss a single game due to injury, and you're not a kicker or a punter, that's seriously impressive. The only reason I think he didn't challenge Brett Favre's streak was because of that moron Ben McAdoo who benched him for Geno Smith, which I will never ever forgive Ben McAdoo in my life for that. But
forgot about that one.
Yeah, I mean,
that was a rough time,
there's a lot. there's a lot of debates going on. Like, is Eli Manning a Hall of Famer? Like, and here's the one thing I'll say that this guys, we all talked before about Tom Brady, right? And
Yeah.
him potentially being the
Yeah.
greatest, one of the greatest, the greatest football player of all time. He's still doing what he's doing
Yeah.
at 44 years old. Eli Manning outplayed Tom Brady on the biggest stage twice.
No,
This guy,
Not
on the-
not
He
twice.
beat-
Once, definitely, not twice.
not twice. You're tapping on it twice. One time, yes.
One time, yeah, because he ruined the perfect season for the Patriots. That
Yeah.
one, I
That
even
one, he
talking-
outplayed.
That was
But the-
special.
but yeah. I mean, he ruined that perfect season. I mean that drive, like to that drive. I mean, you could say what you want about the Tyree catch, like that one play. The one play that I will focus on, that going back to his stuff, how did Eli get out of that play, man?
No, that's what I'm saying.
How
It's
did
like-
he not get? He managed to avoid the rush and then make that throw to Tyree, and then obviously like made the throw to a Plaxico Burst. Made the throw to Plaxico Burst. That drive will forever go down, as in my opinion, as like one of not the greatest drives in NFL history. I mean, to make that drive with the stakes, like Patriots perfect season on the line, Super Bowl on the line. I mean, you couldn't have wrote a better script than that. And then go fast forward 4 years later, that 2011 team. I don't know if you guys remember. With that, the Giants finished 9-7 that year. If it wasn't for Eli Manning and the season he had, they might have finished like 4 and like 12 or something. Like I'm telling you, that team,
yeah.
Eli carried that team to the postseason because their defense like was injured and hurt all year, and they had like one of the worst defenses in the league that year. Now, granted, once their defense got healthy and they got to the playoffs, their defense heated up and they started playing better. I'll give them that, but still, if it wasn't for Eli, there's no way they even get to the playoffs. I mean, and there's so many other games that NFC Championship game again at Lambeau to go in there and frigid temperatures and beat Brett Favre. 2 years later, beat the 15-1 Green Bay Packers. That one NFC Championship game against the 49ers. I don't know if you guys watched that game. Eli Manning was getting killed that game. Like got sacked like what 6 times. Got hit like what over 20 times, but he kept on getting back up and ultimately like I put the Giants in position to win that game. And in Super Bowl 46, like that, once again, I guess the Patriots, and then that throw to Mario Manningham, that will go, in my opinion, is one of the greatest throws like in Super Bowl history. That throw he made to Mario Manningham, like on the sidelines, like if he puts it in any other position, that ball is either A, incomplete, or B, an interception. It was just a picture perfect throw. So, I mean, Eli Manning, if you're listening to this as a Giants, I salute you. All Giants fans, we salute you, and congratulations on having his number 10 retired and hired by the Giants and being rightfully so inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor, which, guys, I think y'all can agree. Like, Michael, regardless of your opinions on Eli Manning, whether he's a Hall of Famer, this is well deserved.
No, yeah, I agree 100% with that. Eli Manning is just.
I remember I was a very big Eli Manning hater all of his career.
Oh, that's when you can
saw
tell he's
that he was-
a good player. If you have haters, you're obviously a good player.
Nah, here's the thing. Eli Manning, I thought he was overrated for many years. I thought he was overrated. Until he won the Super Bowl. I was like, until he won the Super Bowl. Beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl, which has never been done in a Super Bowl. Tom Brady was undefeated going into Super Bowl, boys. And so, wait, only 2 teams that beat Manning in the Super Bowl are the NFC in the NFC East, or the Giants and the Eagles are the only 2 teams that beat Brady in the Super Bowl, which has never been done. If you had told me that Brady's been in what, 9 Super Bowls?
Yeah, he's been in
10.
9
He's
and
been to 10.
10 Super Bowls.
he's been 10, and I think he's won like.
He's won
7 or 8.
7 out of 3.
He won 7 out of 3.
He's won 7, lost 3.
Some boys.
And 2 of those losses are on the accountability at number 10.
Point is, I think Eli Manning is probably the greatest. He's probably in the top 20 greatest quarterbacks of all time. I don't know
Top
where
20?
you put.
Eli
He's not
Manning.
top.
Eli Manning.
He's not
or Tom
top
Brady?
20 greatest quarterback.
No.
Maybe like maybe I think he hinders around like the top 30-ish, top 30, top 25-ish.
I was being generous,
He's hovering around that spot, I think.
but Eli, but all serious, he deserves to be in the Giants. His number retired. He beat the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl. No teams to say it. They could beat the Patriots in the playoffs, but you beat them 2 Super Bowls. Like, that has never been done. Like,
Yeah.
even though I hate Eli Manning as a player, because everyone, I'm still thinking Peyton Manning is still better than Eli Manning for sure.
I agree there.
No, but one thing I will say is this. I think the point when people really started to like, at least this is my opinion. This is my opinion. When people really started to hinder and question when Eli Manning was a Hall of Famer or not, and I think this is completely stupid, is when Odell Beckham Jr. came in and he started looking like he was like the next big thing. Like, that kind of hindered him because then people thought, oh, the Giants are supposed to be like this superstar team because they have Eli Manning and then they have this superstar receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. And I'm just like, guys, that's one catch. Literally, that's one catch he did. In the playoffs, he didn't show up. Eli Manning, I don't think Eli Manning had the best game either, but Odell Beckham Jr.
That one playoff game, Eli played well in that game.
Yeah,
He wasn't
well.
the problem that game. He was hitting Odell in stride, and Odell just couldn't catch the ball that game. Man,
exactly.
I mentioned
So-
this on Sam. I mentioned this to you
As well.
yesterday. Here's another thing about Eli. Can you name me one like big time receiver that left Eli Manning and was the same? No,
Oh, no.
Odell hasn't been the same since leaving the Giants. Plaxico Burress wasn't the same leaving the Giants. I mean, Hakeem Nicks wasn't the same. I mean, there's not one receiver who left the Giants and really like.
Jeremy Shockey. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, Jerry Shockey, I'll give you there. I mean,
Name
Chris Alex
one
got anything
there.
to say?
I mean, you kind of hit on it. Definitely, like, prop to Eli. Well deserved. He's a Giants legend for what he did, win those 2 Super Bowls. And I mean, I loved watching him play personally, and happy he's getting some props. And the Ring of Honor is always. I'd love seeing Chiefs players get retired. So I know it's awesome. To be honest, for Giants fans seeing that for him.
He's also killing on Monday Night Football at Peyton, by the way.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah, I mean, apologize to the Monday Night Football booth. I'm never going back for Peyton and Eli.
I don't even know who the Monday Night Football crew is, and I'm not finding out all season unless one of you guys tell me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do Adam.
All right, guys. It's time to start the segment of the show. I'm sorry, Michael. We don't have much time, so we're going to have to make this a quick one, but
Hell
we got to
no.
move on.
Hell no. I'm going
All right.
You ain't
All
going to
right.
rob me of my hot take. Hell no.
Okay. We're going to move on to the segment of the show that is like Giancarlo Stanton moonshots. Mike's hot take. Michael Cunningham, take it away.
You know what? Some idiot on my Facebook, I have a sports Facebook page, said that the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors and the 2015-2016 Warriors could beat the 95-96 Chicago Bulls. That pissed me off. That pissed me the hell off.
Oh, that triggered me.
That pissed me off. Okay. The 95-6, 95-96 Bulls will beat any Warriors team in general. You get the greatest NBA player of all time, one of the best small forwards in the game of all time, that created the point forward in Scottie Pippen. You have Ron Harper, who's a lockdown defender. You have Dennis Rodman, who can guard anybody from 1 to 5, he could score 20 points and give you 20 rebounds if he wanted to. I'm telling you this: if the Bulls and the Warriors were in a 7-game series, Bulls sweeping in 4. No, who could guard Jordan on that team? Draymond Green can guard a ball of dog poop. But however, I can say the same thing. Pippen will shut. And this is still in the handshake era. Pippen will shut down Curry because Pippen will play defense.
I don't think Pippen will shut down Curry.
Pippen will shut down Curry.
Whoa.
Pippen, Steph Curry, like with his shot, he could shine in any era. I don't think Pippen's gonna shut down Curry.
Do you ever watch Scottie Pippen play basketball?
I've watched a little bit, but I don't think he'll shut down Curry.
Notes, brother. You better watch
that series. You're giving the Warriors a little too great. Now I will agree the Bucks will ultimately win the series.
The Bulls will win the series.
Not the Bucks. The Bulls would ultimately if they play down, the Bulls would ultimately win the series. But would I be surprised if the Warriors which one the Warriors with KD or without KD? With KD. Bulls if it's with KD, the Warriors are taking at least 2 games.
No way.
They're taking 2 games.
Who's stopping
KD? Who's stopping KD?
Who's stopping Jordan? Nobody can guard.
Boys. Let's settle down. But I got this.
Okay, Sam, go ahead.
Adam.
Yeah. I will say
stopping the greatest basketball player in history.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing you need to remember. I agree with you. No one's stopping Jordan. I mean,
I agree.
No one's going to stop Jordan on that team. Jordan's going to have a field day. I wouldn't be surprised if on the Warriors he averaged 42, 45 on their head.
And Jordan was averaging 30 in an era where there was more physical. He was averaging. And this era scored 40 or 50 points.
Yeah. So, but however, there's a big thing that you need to realize. I agree with you. The Bulls will win, and I feel like it would be a gentleman's sweep. Personally, I feel like the Warriors would get 1 game, and here's the reason why.
Do tell.
Jordan, I feel like can guard Klay Thompson or Steph Curry, or you can put Ron Harper even to try to stop Curry. But the main thing is Durant. Scottie Pippen was a bad man. He was a bad man. Like, he was easily like a top 25, 30 player all time. There's no doubt about that. But KD is just on a different level. We see what he did against Giannis. Giannis is 6'11" and has a wingspan of probably for a 7'1", 7'2" person. And KD was still shooting over him. All KD needs is a little room for Scottie Pippen. He'll be shooting over him the entire time.
But Scottie on Durant. But here's the thing. Dennis Rodman is going to shut down Draymond Green. I'm telling you
that no doubt.
Draymond score at all. Rodman will have a field day with him with rebounds. And I'm saying Dennis Rodman, who's probably the greatest rebounder in NBA history, I'm going to say he's a better rebounder than Bill Russell, and I love Bill Russell.
Will Chamberlain?
Dennis Rodman was a rebound king for 7 straight years.
And Will Chamberlain literally averages 20 rebounds.
Dennis Rodman was a bad man on rebounds, bro.
I'm not saying he wasn't. I wasn't saying he wasn't. Don't worry. What I'm saying is, though.
I'm just saying the Bulls will win the series. But however, depends on what era. If the Bulls are playing in the hand check, they are sweeping the Warriors. Because Curry is too soft.
That I agree with. That I definitely agree with.
The Bulls are sweeping them in 4 games. Chris, what do you think? They're blaming the 90s.
In the 90s, probably. But it's just so tough to compare, because they're so different eras.
But however, if you
go strictly today's game, it would be somewhat competitive. But if you're playing in the Bulls era, it's not at all. The Bulls win 5 or 6. But in the era back in the 90s, Bulls are sweeping them hands down.
I say back in the day, the Bulls, they do a gentleman's sweep just because I feel like KD, he's just that good of a player to go off one game. Like how Jason Tatum this year against the Brooklyn Nets went off for 50 and took a game from the Nets. I feel like KD's good enough where he can do that. If we're talking about today's era, I feel like the Warriors, they only got one more game just because again, no one can guard Jordan, and especially if Jordan learns how to shoot a three-pointer, which we keep forgetting. In the latter part of his career, he was a pretty damn good three-point shooter. He was starting to get there. So, like, in this era, he would be having a field day inside and out, so no one's stopping him.
It's just like, I think era, he would score 40. Sorry to interrupt you, Sam.
No, it's fine. But it's just that with the rule changes and all that stuff, it's like
he will have a field.
Will be more effective in today's game than the 90s.
Here's the thing: the 90s, the 80s and 90s were the roughest area to play basketball.
Oh, I know that.
And Chris will agree with me on Big Chris will agree with me on this one. You agree with me, Big C. The Bulls were probably the greatest team dynasty to ever be assembled in NBA history.
Oh, that I agree with. That I agree with. The only team that comes close to that is
the Lakers.
The Celtics in the Celtics in like the 1960s, and that's just because they had like 8 or 9 Hall of Famers at a time on one team.
I gotta say the Lakers too. I gotta say the Lakers, the 2000, 2001, 2002.
Like it was that one had
Kobe,
Kobe just dominating teams.
No, also in the 1980s, the Lakers, because they had like Kareem and James Worthy, Magic Johnson, Byron Scott.
Back to back. Yeah. So I was doing my Magic Johnson impersonation. Mm-hmm. But the point is, I'm going to say this. No defender can stop Jordan. Not even Kawhi Leonard, who is the greatest defender in the game today, won't stop Jordan.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Here's the thing. I feel like he would, like even someone like Kawhi Leonard, I feel like he would kind of slow him down. But slow him down, meaning he goes from scoring 40 to 35.
Yeah.
Everything I'm saying. I'm going to say this as well. And I believe that here's the thing. Phil Jackson, here's the thing why the Bulls won't. Is that Steve Kerr, who had to coach against Phil Jackson. But however, Phil Jackson is probably not the best coach, but he's a great coach because here's why. You win. Here's the thing. You have Kobe. You win with Jordan and Pippen, but you learn how to make those egos work. When he coached Kobe and Shaq, he made those egos work. Mm-hmm. And you had to deal with Kobe, who was my idol, who I love more than anybody. And I put Kobe Bryant underneath Jesus. But Kobe was a hard player to coach. That's what people say.
Yeah.
But if you have Phil Jackson, who has the I with team, there's no I in team, you will win championships with Kobe. And I'm going to say this to end my hot take. No team will beat the Bulls. I don't care if it's Wilt's Lakers team with Jerry West and Elgin Baylor in the 60s and 70s. No team will beat the Bulls. Not even the Big Three in Miami will beat the Bulls.
Oh, that's definite. The Big Three in Miami wouldn't beat the Golden State Warriors with KD and Steph.
And I'm talking about.
I agree. I don't think the Bull. I don't think the Heat beat the Bulls. I don't think the Warriors beat the Bulls. Nets might beat the Bulls though. That's just bias. That's just bias. That is strictly bias there, Michael Cunningham. That is strictly bias.
Hello, stupid idea, stupid saying. Please press.
Okay.
Hello, you've reached
right now.
I said it was strictly bias. All right.
Hey, listen. It's 12:46. He must be tired.
He must be tired. He said it's a bullshit.
Okay.
It's a bullshit.
Okay. Is that the end of your hot take, Michael?
Yeah, it's in my hot take.
Okay. I mean, guys, we're going to vote on this. I mean, Sam, if you don't know, at the end of every single hot take, we vote to see whether or not we approve of it or not. I've been thinking I'm going to approve this one.
Duh.
Okay.
Yeah. You're saying like the Bulls, they won't be beat by any team. I definitely approve this. Like there's not one team I feel like I can like definitely just say, oh no, yeah, they can beat the Bulls. Like
okay,
it's all of them that
I'll buy everybody's bar tab. You guys can name one team, I'll buy everybody's bar tab.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I also proved.
All
Great,
right,
great outtake
so
there,
Wanted to
Keith.
disapprove it so bad.
okay, so you are now 41 out of 44. So congratulations, Michael Cunningham.
Wait, Will, 41 out of 44.
Yeah,
He's had a few
you should
bad
see.
ones.
He's had a couple bad ones. He's had a couple. Remember that one where he said that Chris Jenkins's shot was not. I remember that shot, Sam.
Yeah,
He
I
said that
remember
shot was a
that.
top 5 shot of all time. That was the first one we disapproved.
Oh, wait. Who?
Chris Jenkins. Remember that shot and to win the March Madness?
That
Yeah.
shot wasn't. He just threw it up and made it.
I have to walk up the set real quick. Wow, really? Wow, really?
It was
Wow,
a terrible
okay.
take.
All right.
It was terrible. Michael still says bye to this day, but the rest of them agreed out it's terrible.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
At least I didn't say the Nets had a chance to beat the 95-96 Bulls.
I wasn't serious.
You were serious.
I
Jenkins
said
one
it
is
was
still
strictly
worse.
out of bias.
Michael,
okay?
you make an atrocious take joke every episode.
Like, listen. Real talk about that Jenkins thing. That you just reached like Ryan Hollins level bad on that take. Like you reached Ryan Hollins level bad. Like,
Oh,
God
damn. He roasted Sam. I liked you, Sam, until you roasted me, Sam. I liked you. Then you just hurt my feelings. Sam, Sam, you hurt my feelings.
All right, guys. So we're gonna talk some baseball here. I mean, we obviously, Sam. Obviously, we're itching to talk about the Yankees here, but unfortunately, our good friend Alexander Reach has to leave soon. So, Alex, if you want to talk about your Phillies, like you could just do that, like right now. But I gotta say, I said before, you guys need to sweep Pittsburgh, and unfortunately, you guys couldn't do that. And I believe you're what 2.5 back of Atlanta.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the job done yesterday, and the real test starts Tuesday in Atlanta, and I'm really excited to see how good they can be after coming off a 2-3 win series against Pittsburgh. And I think that their offense is going to have to be on point with the Braves' defense because their defense can be a problem, and it'll be a nightmare if the Phillies can't get anything going. And I think that having solid starting pitching as their rotation is going to have a big effect on that. And I'm just excited to see what the last 7-8 games they have in them and see if they can turn it around and do something about it.
Yeah, definitely. You're 2.5 back of the Braves now. Yeah. I said before you guys need to go like at least 6-1 in my opinion, but ultimately you fell short doing it. And I believe you're 2.5 back of the Braves with 6 games to go. I think Alex, I hate to say this, but I think you guys have to sweep the Braves if you guys want to have a chance at the division. You gotta sweep them.
To be honest, I feel like the Phillies season is done.
Really?
Damn,
Yeah.
Alex is giving up.
I think it's a little too soon to give up, but because
Alex,
if they
don't give up. Anything
if
can
they
happen.
sweep Philadelphia, if they sweep the Braves, then I think they're in the driver's seat because then they got 3 games against them. Then they finish the season against the Marlins, and
I'm actually not feeling optimistic about the Braves series.
okay. So, but that series is gonna be
because Atlanta really whooped the Padres this weekend, and after seeing that, I'm like, you know what? I think Atlanta is going to win the division.
Yeah, Atlanta's. But yeah, this is baseball. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything
Anything. I
happens.
mean, just a week ago, I was basically giving up on the Yankees. And look at what they're doing right now.
Eric,
True.
they destroyed
Anything can
the
happen.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
One thing, Adam. What is your opinion on if the Phillies can win 2 out of the 3?
If they win 2 out of 3, then I think you're a game and a half back. I mean, I
Yeah.
still don't think that. I
I
mean,
don't think they could do that.
I still don't think that's enough. Unless you somehow sweep Milwaukee. I think unless you somehow sweep Miami and then the Braves maybe lose a game or 2 to the Mets. But I think if you realistically want a chance, you gotta sweep them.
Yeah.
If you lose 2 out of 3, then that's it. It's done.
Yeah. I mean, even if the Phillies don't make it to the playoffs this year, I'll be rooting on for those Oakland Athletics.
Oakland Athletics are even going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, bad news.
You're going to be. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to be rooting. I guess. Be honest, Alex. You're going to be rooting against whoever's playing the Yankees. Just be honest.
Wait, let me get this out of my mouth right now. The Oakland A's just swept the Houston Astros.
All right.
You're still 3 back, but that's a lot of the ground.
There's still 3 back though. I mean, you guys know how much we love however beats up on the Astros.
And
the A's are playing the Mariners.
The Astros.
And one last thing. Let's go Jays.
Wait, Alex, serious question.
Damn.
Yes.
Would you rather the Yankees or the Astros win the World Series?
Are you really going to choose the cheaters?
Yankees.
Okay.
Thank you.
I can respect you now for that at least. Okay.
Alan, if you would have said the Astros, I would
not have been happy.
I was about to say, you really going to choose the cheaters?
I expected him to say the Astros though, so I'm very happy.
I low key thought he was going to say Astros too, knowing.
All right.
Let me ask you. Let me tell you something. Cheesesteak. Alex will pick the cheesesteak the same as any Yankee player.
Damn.
Nah, trust me. I have seen Alex diss so many Yankee teams. This is in the Alex sense. Philly fans don't like New York fans, or Philly teams don't like New York
Sam, this
teams.
is the same guy who I told you that when I was on the way home from the ferry from Ocean City that was bragging about the Yankees winning streak coming to end, and he nearly cost me a new hat. You could credit Alex for that. You could credit Alex for that.
Well, all I gotta say is, the Red Sox, man.
Okay.
A grand slam and then,
All
double and a home run?
All right. Speaking of the Red Sox, you want to know who, guys? You want to know who hurt a lot of people's feelings around the country?
Ooh,
the New York Yankees.
Yes.
Sweeping the Boston Red Sox. Oh my God, where do I begin?
Giancarlo effing Stanton. That's where you need to begin.
Yeah, it starts with Stanton. It ends with Stanton.
It ends with Stanton and it starts and ends with Stanton. That's all you need to talk about.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
I mean, I'll say this about Stanton. For a guy who receives as much hate as Stanton does, the guy is just unbelievable.
He's a stud.
I mean, and here's the thing. He's answered, I don't know if you guys heard, Sam, Michael, what do you think about it? This guy has pretty much answered every single criticism that was against him by Yankee fans. They say he's not clutch. Well, you look at he's got multiple big hits for Yankees this season. And remember what he did in the last postseason? Oh yeah, he tore it up last postseason. He was one of our few good hitters that postseason. That's number one. Number two, they say he's not healthy. He can't stay healthy. Well, he's played pretty much. He stayed healthy pretty much all year. He's played in 130 something games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and number three, they say he can't play the field. Well, he's playing the field now. He's playing left field. He's playing right field. He's answered every single criticism of him this offseason. I mean, past season, man. The guy is just like I said I said before, this guy is truly like one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball. I've kept that stance for years. He's like, in terms of strictly his hour and hour hardest. But did you guys, Sam? Unfortunately, we didn't see it live. Did you see that Stanton grand slam yesterday? Oh my god!
I saw
he
videos.
crushed
That was wow. It was
like 450 feet, and this past game, like to
he hit
seal the
another
deal,
home run for
2-run
the
home run
Judge.
that went 440 feet. I mean,
Yeah.
and
I feel
also
go
ahead.
Sorry.
Okay,
No,
and also Aaron Judge, big 2-run double. Big 2-run double. I mean, this guy, I said before, top priority this offseason, aside from firing Aaron Boone, which I'm going to get to that a little bit, but that top priority, they need to extend this man. He's a free agent after next season. They need to lock this guy up long term.
They need to lock him up at least for another good 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah. I think he's there's a lot of debate going this offseason. This either should the Yankees extend Aaron Judge? He's too injury prone.
He's too injury prone. Yeah,
but like Stan, he's played pretty much all. The only time he even remotely got hurt was when we went on the COVID IL.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's like literally Aaron Judge has been one of our best players for
years now. I would not be surprised if he finishes top 3 in MVP voting.
Yeah,
because
he's that good.
Like he's truly like one of the best players in the sport. He's one of the top 10 players in the sport. And another guy who had unfortunately he didn't do that good in the first in the last 2 games. He went hitless in the last 2 games into the series, but he had a monster first game of the series. Gleyber Torres might just finally start to get going. It looks like he's finally starting to get going. I don't know if I mentioned this in last episode, Sam, but I believe like in the second half of the year, Gleyber is hitting like over 290, and his slugging percentage is really like his numbers in the second half are really, really good. And I said before, if he could just be a guy that hits for a high average, he could just have some of the power that he had in 2019 and just hit like 25 bombs a year. That's an all-star caliber second baseman. I think similar to Yankee fans who were, I think people who were saying, maybe they should give up on Gleyber. I still think it's way too soon to give up on a 24-year-old who's been a nil infielder who's been to the All-Star team twice.
No, yeah, I 100% agree. He's been like really, really good. Yeah, it's just that what's it called? You have to remember though, like where we were like at the beginning of the season.
And they mentioned it on the broadcast that A-Rod mentioned it on the broadcast on Sunday Night Baseball that the move the second base I feel like was really helping him out because it takes a lot of pressure off him at shortstop because now second base he doesn't need to be like if he like boots a ball at second base he can still make the play. There's not as much pressure on him, and he mentioned that when you're like struggling defensively, like when you're a player and you're struggling defensively, like it can get in your head, like when you're at the plate. So now there's not as much pressure on Gleyber at second base. Like he just focused on just raking, man. And this past game, like before Judge and Stanton saved the season, I was ready to come on here and kill the Yankees.
The management was terrible.
I mean, like, what was Aaron Boone thinking? He brings in Holmes. Holmes strikes out the side in the bottom of the 6th inning. Strikes out the side. And he threw like what, 11 pitches?
Yeah.
Boone thinks it's a good idea to go to Rodriguez, a guy we've never heard of before, in the bottom of the 7th inning. What does Rodriguez do? He gives the lead right back to the Boston Red Sox. If it wasn't, I'll tell you right now, Aaron Boone better be buying Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton ice cream tonight, because if it wasn't for those 2 big hits, I would be coming on this podcast killing Aaron Boone, because
I would have been ripping him to shreds.
I would have been like, because that was just one of many questionable moves that Aaron Boone has made this season. I said before, if the Yankees don't make the playoffs, they need to move on from him.
Yeah.
I said before, like, but thankfully, right now,
Unfortunately, but thankfully,
the Yankees right now they're in a good position. They're now, thanks to this sweep, they now hold
second place. I'm pretty sure.
No, they hold the first wild card in the American League. They hold first place in the American League wild card. So if the season ended today, they would have home field advantage in the wild card. Now they've got the Toronto Blue Jays. I say if you take 2 out of 3 in that series, you pretty much put the Blue Jays away.
I'm pretty sure. What's it called? I'm pretty sure they're gonna put the Blue Jays away just because the Blue Jays this season, the Blue Jays, don't get me wrong, they're good, but they're not really at their like best. They're not really.
They're not ready. I don't think they're truly ready yet.
Yeah,
I still think they're on the younger side. I mean, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is a stud, but and obviously George Springer is also really good, but I mean, and Robbie Ray's having a Cy Young caliber season, but I still think that team is like still a few pieces away from really being a contender.
Yeah, like they're like a good. I think this may be a hot take. I think next year the Blue Jays, they're gonna be here. I think next season you'll see the Blue Jays. They'll be here. They'll be in the playoffs and everything. They may make it. Then they'll make a deep playoff run next year. But this year, I think it's like they're just doing like a big learning curve.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just like building up their younger pieces so that by like next season or the season after, you'll see the Blue Jays being like one of the top teams.
Yeah. Michael, you agree?
Yeah, 100% agree.
I mean, Chris, you have any thoughts?
Nothing too much. Just been. I mean, you guys definitely know more about the Yankees than me, but it's been a crazy up and down season, and hasn't gone as planned. But heading into the final
it's
week,
been a roller coaster of a year. Like
into the final
I
week,
can't remember the last time a Yankees team was
in.
this up and down, guys.
Yeah, like obviously you want to win the division, but you have a chance to host a wild card game, and with the way the season's gone, it's not exactly what you envisioned, but getting to the playoffs, hosting the wild card game.
Yeah, if you could
you're in the spot you want to be in, and you're playing pretty good.
Yeah,
baseball.
just if you're a Yankees fan and like I think if you asked me like I don't know 2-3 months ago that like 2 months ago when the Yankees like when they stunk that you would get that they would get. If you told me like that they're gonna be playing like a 1-game playoff at Yankee Stadium with Garrett Cole on the mound, I would have signed up for that 100 times out of 100 times. Give me a 1-game playoff. Give me that wild card game at Yankee Stadium with Garrett Cole on the mound, and you know what? I'll take my chances.
No, I still remember like 3 months ago, like I was just like listening to the radio. They were versing the Mets. They lost like in a terrible way to the Mets
I was at that game, by the way.
Yeah,
I was at that game.
It was so funny. The newscaster, he was like, oh, and they lost to the Mets. And God damn, the Yankees, they played horrible. And like, how are they so true? I'm just like, God damn, wow, he's ripping them a new one.
And honestly, yeah, rightfully so. They deserve to get ripped. And you heard Sam a couple of episodes ago. I was killing them. I was after they lost to to the Cleveland Indians. I was killing them last time, and I brought up a bunch of stats that a bunch of my complaints about this about this team. If you want, like it was episode 42, Sam. If you ever get a chance, go back and listen to that episode and the rant I went on about the Yankees. But I gotta admit, they've proven me wrong. I criticized them a couple of months ago, saying I didn't think they were going to be a playoff team, and you know what? They proven me wrong. They went on that hot streak. They went on that hot streak and went on 30 straight. I started killing them again, and you know what?
Yeah.
They went on a hot streak. So this has just been a roller coaster of a season. And you know what?
Maybe you can keep killing them.
Anything can happen.
Just keep ripping them in one, please, because that's what's working.
You're right. Maybe I should. mean, that's just the. Let's see. What can I complain about? I mean, I technically I kind of complained about Boom. So check that mark off. Check mark.
Oh, who are the two that were Butterfingers? There was two people that were Butterfingers today.
Oh, DJ. Both got DJ Mayu and Joey Gallo, who are normally both great defenders. I mean, DJ, I'll kind of give a pass because it was like please some.
No,
it was a
Joey
foul ball and it was windy. Joey Gallo, I mean, you gotta catch that.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah, you can make the argument. Yeah, Brett Gardner should have waved him off, but that's still a ball that Joey Gallo that's a ball that I'm pretty sure a high school could still make. That's a routine fly ball that you should have.
Yeah.
Especially in that situation. Like you cannot be giving up runs like that.
Yeah.
And the Yankees defense, like I said, probably been complaining about the Yankees defense all year. Like if they get into the playoffs, those type of mistakes are going to be unacceptable in the playoffs.
Oh, if they make especially in Yankee Stadium, if they make those type of mistakes.
Oh my god!
Ooh, you're gonna see a new side. You're gonna see a new side.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. There's three places you never want to like do wrong in the sports world.
Yeah.
It's Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah.
And New York.
Exactly. If you, especially in this town, if you don't perform, the fans are gonna let you hurt. I mean, look at what the Mets have going through with Javier Baez and Francisco Lindor.
Yeah,
what they've been going through.
But here's the thing: the Mets, it's like they just been having a disappointing year.
Yeah, they're eliminated, by the way. Which I mean,
oh no, yeah,
when we get Marcellus on, he's another co-host we have, by the way, Sam. When we get Marcellus on, he's a Mets fan. We're gonna definitely we'll definitely talk some Mets to him about another disappointing season for the Mets.
No, yeah, just because what's it called? Yeah, they lost to the Brewers, and the Brewers, they're good. Don't get me wrong, the Brewers are really, really good, but 8-4. Like, I get if you lose like 3-2, or it's like a close game like that, where it's like not a lot of runs are scored, and you just played good defense, but they played better defense. That's fine. You lose 8-4. Like that to me is just kind of like unacceptable.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's late, so you know what? We gotta wrap this show up. Sam, this is how we wrap up every single one of our episodes. Our bets of the episode. So basically, what we do here is you open up whatever sports we got, and you can make one bet. Just one, and we keep score, and we keep score. We keep track of everything. So,
okay.
I'll take you through it right now. To recap last episode 43. Only one of us won. I mean, one of us, Michael, your bet is pending because you picked Cowboys over Eagles Monday Night Football, so that one is pending. But everyone else that made a bet lost. I had the Chiefs over the Chargers on the spread. Chris, your Chiefs let me down, and you know what? I took an L.
I do want the record show. I advise you not to make that bet. That was on record.
I said before I should have picked Rutgers. I was considering picking Rutgers on the spread, and you know what? Rutgers ended up covering the spread. I should have picked Rutgers. So Alex had Stanford over UCLA on the money line in college football. UCLA beat Stanford, so go Alex takes an L. And Chris, my friend, you also took an L. You had the Steelers over the Bengals on the spread, and the Bengals cooked the Steelers. So bad one there for you, Chris.
Yeah,
the only one of us that took a W.
Yeah, they were good.
The only one of us that took a W. Marcellus had the Cardinals over the Jaguars on the spread, and the Cardinals took care of the Jaguars fairly easy. So to give an update on the standings, so guys, here's what we're gonna do. I made this idea. You guys remember before we used to have a co-host named David on the show?
Yeah.
We're gonna give Sam David's record.
Hell no. So he's automatically in first place.
Wait. What?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
he got to start from the bottom like Marcellus.
All right. So what I
let's start
did
from the
is
bottom.
we're giving Sam David's record, and I added up, and since then there's been 6 episodes. He has a 3-3 record since then. So to give an update on the standings, Chris, you're still our ringleader. 22-21 record,
Going down for
211.66 points. Don't worry, Michael. You're still in second place.
he's not for long. I'm at W tomorrow.
23-19 record, 207.91 points. I remain in third place, 18-25 record, 189.66 points. Sam, my friend, you're in fourth place, 23-20 record, 170.59 points. Marcellus is in fifth place, 24-19 record, 167.62 points. And Alex remains his last place, 15-18 record, 101.61 points.
Damn. All right.
It's been a struggle for Alex. That's all I'm going to say. We do have Alex's bet, though, because we said before he had to leave the show early. He is taking the A's over the Mariners for Wednesday on the money line. So, yeah, it's late, guys. I want to make this one very simple. I'm also doing a Wednesday game. I got to take my team. We're going to take the Yankees over the Blue Jays. You got Garrett Cole on the mound. The Yankees have just been riding hot. I mean, I think Garrett Cole's going to truly prove that he deserves the American League Cy Young in this one. I think this is going to be his last start of the season. I'm feeling good about the Yankees in this one. So I'm going to take the Yankees over the Blue Jays, AJ's money line on Wednesday. All right. We don't have Marcellus's bet, so Michael, are you going to go for Marcellus?
He may get mad at me for doing this. He's going with the Cowboys over Eagles.
Okay.
Money.
Okay, so he's taking the same bet as you, all right?
I got another bet.
Okay, you got another bet, though, all right? All right, Chris, you're up.
All right, so I'll go with the Phillies over the Braves in a must-win game. I think they're going to come to play. I'm going to go Phillies over Braves money line in Tuesday's matchup.
Oh, okay. Chris, I'm sure Alex is going to love to hear that. All right, Sammy, your first ever bet on this podcast. The floor is yours, my friend. Go ahead.
I'm going to choose the same one as you, Adam. I'm going to choose the Yankees over the Blue Jays just because I feel like the Yankees, again, like I said before, I feel like the Blue Jays, they're just too young. They're an upcoming team. They're a good team. They're going to be a good team, but I just feel like the Yankees, they now, after winning this Red Sox series and making it so that they can like have a home game as a wild card, like a home game for like the wild card game. I feel like they found like this newfound like thing. Sorry. I feel like they found like this newfound like encouragement, and they're gonna like do very well against the Blue Jays. While the Blue Jays, they're just too young, too inexperienced. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go down pretty easily.
Okay. All right. Michael Cunningham, last up. Go ahead.
For my bet for tomorrow, I got my Cowboys beating the Eagles money line. I'm gonna do something that has never been on the show, Adam.
What?
A bet we never did. I'm gonna do a WNBA bet.
I like it.
Oh, wait.
Michael, go ahead. I like it. I like where this is going.
I got Phoenix Mercury over the Aces tomorrow, money line.
Are we allowed
Michael,
to make two
I like
bets or
it.
one bet?
Yeah.
He made on our last episode he took Monday Night Football. So that's gonna be that still counts as his bet for last episode. He's making a new bet this episode. So
Okay.
So I'm gonna do a WNBA bet. Change it up. No one has ever done it in our podcast, I believe. No one's ever done it.
I would have never thought of that. Actually, I may do one of those next time.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. That's all for our bets, and that's all for this episode. Sam, we are so happy to have you on. I remember I told you about this as like last night. You said invite me on, and you know what? It was probably one of the best decisions I've made all year long. So Sam, we're so happy to have you on, and we cannot wait for next time. We're gonna make a lot of memories on this podcast, I'm sure.
I'm sure we will. Thank you.
All right, guys, any final thoughts?
Nope.
Chris?
Welcome aboard, Sam.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Again Podcast family. But
Thank you.
all right, that's it. This has been episode 44 of the Again Podcast with yours truly, Adam Grassani, Michael Cunningham, Alex Reach, Chris Kieran, and Sam Morell. If you like what you heard, leave a like and follow or subscribe to the podcast. Also, if you want to join the conversation, drop a comment or review, or we may feature it in a future episode. Remember, my friends, those two reduce is just fantasy. If you can imagine a world, believe in it, and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.
And we're out.